What's good, everybody? It is Friday, December 16th, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it is not close. A ton of housekeeping before I bring in the stars of the show, so bear with me. First of all, a tip of the cap this morning to Papa Coach. You know, I talk about my dad all the time. Heart transplant 4 years ago. Never thought we'd see any more birthdays. Today is his birthday. If you don't mind, he's watching right now. Can you put into the chat, happy birthday, Papa Coach? That's number one. Number two, I texted the maestro last night, plenty of time, to get Big Cheesy 707's Venmo because I lost a showdown last night. We are fully transparent. The maestro, apparently, I did not know, is traveling. So, Big Cheesy, I know you're in the chat. Put your Venmo right there. As soon as we are off the air, you will be $100 richer. A learning moment for everybody. When in the morning, the Stars are playing, but in the evening, they're watching in a suit. Thank you, Clippers. Thank you very much. Now, as far as our day yesterday, as always, we are the most transparent show in all of sports betting. If you're leaning into some of my cappers right now, I would encourage you to follow Sia, 15-2. And by the way, he got into Club Cachet last night. Not happy about that. And the Speculator, you can see him every day, every weekday on the Early Edge in 5. The man is a beast. Do not let the nice little exterior fool you. Then, nice little recap here. Mikey B hits his parlay. Alley, little push there. And then the Grizzlies last night from SportsLine. If you remember, then you had the Grizzlies -2. They blow out the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, it's a busy day at the brand. Bowl season, 40 bowl games starts today. So, in addition to this show, we've got Early Edge and 5 special start time today, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then, of course, our props extravaganza. And my guys, Sia, Prop Stars, Uncle Dave, they've been killing it. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss one single second of our incredible content. So thank you for bearing with me for all the housekeeping items. But today is a big day at the brand. A big day at the brand. So when it's a Friday and it's a big day and bowl season is starting and you got World Cup over the weekend, there's only one crew that I can bring to the table on Big Pick Energy Friday. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, live. We gotta introduce him first because apparently he's never stayed in a hotel in New York City. He thinks he's going to get kicked out of his room at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Ladies and gentlemen, he survived his first trip to the Big Apple. Welcome back to the Early Edge Buckets. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good morning, everyone. I have remembered this time that I'm on my phone here, that my camera is straight ahead. So I'm looking at the camera while I'm talking to you all. I survived a full week here, knock on wood. My flight goes out this afternoon, so pending nothing crazy happening between now and then, it has been a fantastic trip, and I will not get kicked out of my hotel. That's the new goal.
No, they will not. Full transparency, he said before we came on the air, Coach, I may have to dip out early because my checkout time's at 10:30.
You get at least 2 visits. Hey, I know we've got to get through this quickly, but like you've got 2 knocks from the housekeepers before you should even get nervous, right? You're going to go through once and knock, and you're going to be like, hey, it's okay, I'll be out soon. And then if they come back again, then they might report you to the front desk. But you've got at least 2 knocks before you need to be concerned about them getting the administration involved.
I don't care what anybody says. Give me more buckets. Damn it. All right, settle into New York there. In your room right now. Now, Christian in the chat says, Emory's my guy. Well, guess what, Christian? He's our guy, too. He is the czar of the playbook, and he is everywhere. Emory Hunt, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Glad to be back. I was down in Daytona Beach last weekend covering the FCS Bowl, scouting pro prospects, getting that kicked off already. Glad to be back. That's why I missed you guys last weekend.
Oh, we missed you too, and I can't wait to see what you have cooked up for us today. Now, finally, he is the energy in Big Pick Energy Friday. He is Chip Patterson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Emory. Good morning, Buckets, and a happy birthday to you, Papa Coach. Thanks for tuning in, and another year around the sun. Love to hear it. Fired up as we get bowl games going because, look, we don't have a lot of Spray the Board Saturdays left, but we got one coming up tomorrow. We got games today starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. It pays to watch live because I'm sure we've got more than a few opinions on this Bahamas Bowl game.
And that is our hashtag. Hashtag it pays to watch live. You're damn right in the early edge universe. Reed says bowl games and buckets. That's a winner. You're damn right it is. So let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And it seems like every week there's somebody else that I worked with for years at ESPN getting into the coaching game. Trent Dilfer getting ready to take over at UAB. But, Chip, this is where we're going to start because he's not coaching the bowl game today. And it's all about the interim head coach, and the team apparently is not happy about it. But this could be a trend throughout bowl season. Start us off, sir.
Yeah, how much do you value the interim coach? Who is the interim coach? What is their relationship with the team, and what does it mean moving forward? Because in the next 2 days, we're going to have 4 interim coaches. You mentioned UAB right now. Interim coach Brian Vincent was promoted when Bill Clark resigned back in July, and he was somebody who's been with this program since 2018. He's been with these players, and there was a lot of player support for him to be the head coach. But he ain't going to be the head coach. Where's Brian Vincent's head at? This whole coaching staff, where is their head at? And how has that impacted the bowl preparation? We've got an interim crime going down at 11 a.m. on Saturday in the Fenway Bowl, where Cincinnati is going to be coached by Kerry Coombs because Luke Fickell left to go to Wisconsin. And Kerry Coombs just showed up. I mean, he just showed up after getting run out of town in Columbus at Ohio State. However, who's coaching Louisville? Deion Branch, baby, pride of the program, somebody the players absolutely love. I don't think there's a lot of interim coach value to Kerry Coombs. I do think there is for Deion Branch, but of course, make your own decision. And finally, in the nightcap, the chase spot on Spray the Board Saturday, we got Boise State against North Texas. North Texas also in an interim coach situation. So we got 4 interim coaches in the next 2 days. Make sure you know who they are, their relationship with the team, how long they've been there. And that's how you make your handicap.
Educate and entertain, ladies and gentlemen. Educate and entertain every single bowl game. Either on early edge in the morning, early edge in 5 in the afternoon. We will have a pick on all of them. Why? Because of what Chip just told you. You need to know who's playing. You also need to know who is coaching. Now, not the same issues in the World Cup. It's been an amazing month, and this man has taken leaps and bounds. You got to give credit where credit is due. If you turn on social media, you're seeing my man buckets everywhere. And we're down to the Final 4. You say, but Coach, the finals are on Sunday. Yes, but there is a third-place game. Many don't know that. Buckets, where are we at with the World Cup, sir?
We are down to the Final 4 teams. On Saturday morning, we have the third place match between Croatia and Morocco. And then the big final happens Sunday morning at 10 a.m. between Argentina and France. And I know Coach says this all the time, but if you are not a SportsLine subscriber, what are you doing? You need to be for the World Cup final alone. Martin the Guru, the Speculator, and myself have each done separate articles in which combined between us 3, we have 11 different picks for the World Cup final alone. I will give out a single one of those picks later in the show, but if you want the best World Cup content you can find, you need to check out the SportsLine site because we have covered every possible angle imaginable for that matchup.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up because also the last couple of days we've announced that now in the NFL, we have props available at SportsLine in the game explanations, whatever you want to call it. We have props now, and you guys have been so excited about it. Did they just knock on your door?
I was muted, but there's knock number 1, Chip.
Oh, knock number 1 for buckets. That's all right. You can open the door and say, hey, I'm working. Say I'm working.
I already said I'm okay.
Oh, my God. This couldn't be any better. Couldn't be any better. All right. As Bucket said, if you're not a SportsLine member, what are you doing? But I'm going to do you a solid because right now there's never been a better time than become a member. So use the promo code EARLY. I'll give you 30 days for free. Then after that, you can get the articles he's talking about. You can get all the picks in all the games for not $500, not $1,000, for $10 a month. We're growing, and we want you to be a part of it. Now, my man Rue or my girl Rue, I'm not sure, in the chat, either way, says, I love me some Emory Hunt. Guess what? So do we. And we're about to get into our board. As soon as we pay those pesky little bills, here's a word from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. Those watching on YouTube, listening on Apple or Spotify, this is The Early Edge. Now, this is how we do it. Friday games, Saturday games, World Cup. That's what we do on Big Pick Energy. So, Emory, we know the drill, son. It's time to start us off. What do you like today? And full transparency, We never talk to each other, and sometimes we have differing opinions, which is why you got to listen to the explanation. With that being said, Emory, you are up.
Well, I'm glad Chip brought up the interim coach theory, and you always call me by my nickname, the Czar of the Playbook. Why? Because I stay ready for this. Look at this. People forget I used to coach back in 03-04, and I was the one that pegged the Gulf Coast offense before it became a thing. Wow. And this is the playbook right there, guys. So I'm always ready for the interim job, interim basis. So I may be the next one jumping in the coaching ranks
Let's go.
To the football team. But UAB minus 11, I'm laying those points with Dwayne McBride, the run game, and the Blazers. I like them to roll all over Miami of Ohio. Troy, UTSA, this line has jumped from Troy being favorites and now they're underdogs. Take the over and take UTSA. They have a 15-year veteran quarterback in Frank Harris, who's coming back for a 16th season next year. They're going to score a lot of points. Neither one can play defense. This total is going to go over. And Incarnate Word plays tonight against North Dakota State. They may have the Walter Payton Award winner, which is the FCS equivalent to the Heisman Trophy, and Lindsey Scott Jr., the quarterback. Take them plus 9.5 against the Bison, and the over-under is at 72. The last time I checked, you know what it is when you talk about Incarnate Word or Fordham. Take the over.
Take the over. Now, very interesting. With a lot of confidence, a lot of bravado, Emory said that UAB gonna roll today. So, Chip, I come to you. What say you, big boy? What say you?
There has been a long stretch where fading the MAC was incredibly profitable. But let me just tell you, oh, come on. Oh, yeah, because it's the return of the MAC. The MAC is no longer the team that you can blindly fade. And in the last 3 seasons, we have seen from being absolutely awful to just about average and slightly profitable. They went from being 6-10-1 against the spread in the 3 seasons before to 10-6-1 in the most recent 3 bowl seasons. But that's not just why I'm back in Miami of Ohio, because Dwayne McBride, the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year, one of the top running backs in the entire country, according to Steve Irvine of 1819 News, the sports director there. Unless there is a last-second change, which is unexpected, Dwayne McBride will not play in the Bahamas Bowl. The star running back looking like he might opt out. Still, we've got another running back in that backfield that was an all-conference player. We've got other offensive linemen that were all-conference players, but this is a running team, an explosive running team, but a running team. What is the one thing Miami does well? Well, they've got the #1 rush defense in the MAC. They also just always seem to play one-score games. And so a team that always plays one-score games, they've got a really good run defense. Going up against a UAB team with an interim coach and the star running back who's looking like he's going to opt out, I just think this is too many daggone points. Plus, we are talking about the Bahamas Bowl. And in 4 of the 7 Bahamas Bowls that have been held, they've been one-score games. Something about the wind, something about the water. Just ends up being tight, ends up being competitive. So I love taking the dog there. I am also going to take UTSA. And look, this line has been moving in the Roadrunners' favor. Snap it up right now, because Frank Harris is him. He is that dude. He is coming back for a 7th season. And I think the Roadrunners are going to be uniquely motivated because they are on their way to the American Athletic Conference. They have their star quarterback coming back. And you know what else UTSA has? 0 bowl wins in program history. How much would it mean for the Conference USA champs to go and notch that win and be able to go into the next era of Roadrunners football with that bowl victory? I like their ability to score more than I like Troy. Troy has a good defense, but I think UTSA wins the game, so I'll take it at the short number.
And the last 2 minutes are why we tell you all the time, you cannot just look at the recap screen. It drives me nuts when I get tweets, oh, Coach, I just looked at the recap screen. Take the information. If you like Emory's information, then use that. If you like Chip's, use that. But in this business, you can have differing opinions on the same show. It's allowed. Newsflash. All right, now we still have Saturday come with those two. They're not going anywhere. But we also have a Saturday game in the World Cup, and we have a Sunday final, which the guru correctly predicted the final 2 teams. France, the defending champion, and Argentina as Lionel Messi, trying to end his career on top. So, buckets, where do we go?
I just want to say real quick, Chip's beautiful singing voice kind of threw me off a little bit here. I don't entirely remember where I was going, but I'm going to try to bounce back here. The soccer slate today it's dead. It is non-existent, but that is okay because our focus should be on the two biggest games in the world coming up this weekend. And I've got a pick for both of them. We're going to start with Morocco and Croatia. They play Saturday morning, and this is a very, very sad game to predict because these are the two lowest scoring teams in the World Cup and the two most defensive teams in the World Cup. So this is one of those once-a-year buckets plays where I actually think the under is the right look here. Under 2.5 goals at -120 is tremendous value considering these two teams played 2 weeks ago and it ended 0-0 and was the game in the World Cup that had the lowest shots out of any game in the entirety of the World Cup. These are two defensive teams, and both of them, yes, it's a third place game that doesn't mean a ton, but they want to give their fans a showing, but I don't see goals in this matchup. But the game that matters the most here is that matchup between Argentina and France on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And there's no better bet in the world than our favorite bet in the soccer world, and that is both teams to score at +100. I know historically the World Cup final is usually not the highest scoring event, but I do not believe that you can put this much star talent on the pitch together and not see at least both teams score at least one goal here. Messi and Alvarez versus Mbappe and Giroud. There is too much attacking talent on this pitch to ignore the fact that both teams are going to find goals here. I would play this all the way up to -140. But the fact that it's plus odds on Caesars right now is just ridiculous. You got to snatch this up early because this line is going to move before Sunday morning.
You know what I want you to do? By the way, a little bonus to all of you watching live right now. My man M Squared is in the chat. If you have a question for him, go ahead and throw it in there. He'll answer for you the next 3 or 4 minutes. So that's a bonus. Buckets, I want you to go back maybe a year. You just passed your 1-year anniversary here, correct?
Correct.
Right? And I want you to watch your first show. Because I know you haven't. And then I want to watch you today. I could not be any more proud of how far you've come the last 12 months. In all sincerity, there's no joke.
I'm waiting for a joke here, Coach.
There is no joke. There is no joke. There is no joke. Although I respect the fact that you think one is coming, but there is no joke. You become a vital part of what we do. You're doing everything the right way. You have fun. You pay it forward. Everything we want in a crew member at the early edge, that's who you are. Sincerely. Sincerely. Now, with all that Mr. Rogers crap out of the way, let's get back to our football betting. And we've got Saturday. I told you there's 40 bowl games, and you'll get a pick on every single one of them right here. And perhaps a little FCS along the way if you follow Emory at SportsLine. So, Emory, what do we have for Saturday this week?
We got a lot of parlays here, sir. We got the Saturday parlay. But here's the thing. You can play these individually, but let's have a little bit more fun and stack them all together like magnets and make a parlay, right? So let's look at Jackson State -14, another number that has been fluctuating all throughout the week. -14 against North Carolina Central. I think they want to cap off Deion Sanders' tenure at Jackson State with a perfect 13-0 season. I like them laying the points, and because Jackson State gets bored within the game, they'll allow North Carolina Central with their great quarterback Davius Richard to score some points. Take the over as well. Then you go to another great game featuring two excellent quarterbacks in Jake Haener and also Cam Ward. It's hard to go against the point spread, another spread that has fluctuated. So I just like the better defense in this ball game, the better team. Jake Haener and Fresno State on the money line. I think they'll beat Washington State. Haener has been a difference maker since he's gotten back into the lineup. I like them over Washington State. Another great matchup between veteran quarterbacks Tanner Mordecai and Jaron Hall, who's been there for 2 decades at BYU. Mordecai has been playing ball since I was in college. So you have 2 experienced quarterbacks, but here's the thing. It's about point of attack play. BYU's O-line, D-line, they check those boxes. They win that game up front and on the defensive side of the ball. I like BYU on the money line. Again, you can play all these individually, but I like them nicely stacked in a parlay.
You're damn right. I love them stacked in a parlay. By the way, I watch every Fresno State game. And the reason this line is where it is, Emory, because people don't watch them play. They are so good with the quarterback back, as you alluded to. Thank you very much. Individually or in that nice little parlay. Love it. Now, we also have other Saturday plays. So let's go right back to our main man, Chip. What do you got?
Oh, we are going to be taking what seems like a total sucker play, but I'm telling you it's not. You've got an SEC team that is a double-digit dog to Oregon State. They're supposed to be SEC. The Southeastern Conference has a team in a bowl game against a Pac-12 team from Corvallis, Oregon, and they are 10-point underdogs. But it's not just biases. It's not just, going with the broad stroke, because I've had to do a little bit of digging into the situation. Because yes, star quarterback Anthony Richardson will not be in this game. Star left tackle Osiris Torrance will not be in this game. Star linebacker Ventrell Miller, starting wide receiver Justin Shorter. These opt-outs and some of the transfers out of the Florida program are the reasons why Florida, which admittedly was a inconsistent and middling team through much of the season, that's why they are big underdogs to Oregon State, who's 9-3, having a fantastic year, trying to record just their third 10-win season in program history. But then I went and I thought about leadership, okay? Because there is a senior defensive lineman named Javon Dexter, who's one of the best players on this Florida defense. And all he's been saying to any of the reporters, it was like, there was no way I was going to opt out of this game. So when I think about the 2s and the 3s and all the backups that are going to have to be out there playing, if they're having any motivation issues, think about that guy that's going to the NFL, Javon Dexter. Think about that guy that's going to be in the Senior Bowl. And he is out there putting it on the line, trying to make sure that Florida doesn't get embarrassed like they got embarrassed by UCF in a bowl game last year. So I think that when you've got someone like that, and then very importantly on the offensive side, I love the 1-2 punch of Trevor Etienne and Johnson that they've got at running back. They both average over 6 yards per carry. They've combined for like 1,500 yards. They are explosive. And so we don't have Anthony Richardson, but we do have a great 1-2 tandem at running back of underclassmen that will be in this game. And I just think that the overall talent and the player development under Billy Napier will set Florida up to be more competitive than this line suggests. Oregon State's the better team. They may win 10. That's too many daggum points. Take every one of them. Finally, don't lose to food is what I think Aristotle said, as Southern Miss is going up against Rice. And Southern Miss is simply the better team. Rice, it's down to like its 9th quarterback. It doesn't have anybody in the secondary right now. They only made the bowl season because they have good grades. Look it up. This is a 5-7 team. They only made the bowl season because they have good grades. Southern Miss, on the other hand, we got Frank Gore Jr., baby, 1,000-yard rusher, who is just an absolute beast. Yeah, anything under a touchdown, we snap it up. We take Southern Miss.
He can actually play quarterback. Last year, he played quarterback.
Yeah.
And threw a touchdown in one game.
He threw a touchdown against my damn Cajuns earlier in the season. A deep one at that.
Hey, Buckets, do you know what the Cajuns is the mascot for? Do you know what college that is?
Of course.
Of course
I do.
What is it? You did not just Jay Smooth.
No,
you just Jay Smooth yourself. You muted yourself.
Oh, darn it. Well, I already gave my answer. I'm not going to repeat myself.
That was good.
Let's just move on. We're good to move on.
Oh, no. I'm going into a tunnel. Sorry.
I'll give you.
Oh, I got to check out, guys. I got to later.
I didn't even know you did that. That was next level. Very, very good. By the way, in the chat, my man Javon says, this show is the truth. No BS, 30 minutes or less, get to the facts. Then he says, watch a lot of other capper shows, and it's a mess. Trust me, this is a winning system here because we have a crew, and we have support, and we have the best cappers in the world. I say it all the time. There are levels to this game, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, we're changing it. We're not doing what they did 20 years ago. No, we are the standard every single day. Have not missed a day since December of 2020. Yes, Buckets. What would you like to say?
Was Cajuns the mascot for UAB that Emory was talking about earlier?
Oh, man.
Man.
You had just done well.
I thought I'd come back and shock the world by actually knowing one of Coach's questions after, but I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again. Y'all can just continue.
Let me call housekeeping, man. Get you up out of here.
Yeah, you get the second knock. Hey, you better watch out, man. That second knock is Emory. The second knock is housekeeping. That second knock is Emory here to let you know about Louisiana.
Oh, my God.
Oh, duh.
See, everybody now, they were giving you all those compliments in the chat. Buckets is the go, Buckets. And now they're like, I take that back. I'm taking it back. See how fast, how fickle they are, Buckets? Embarrassing. The Blazers you thought were the Cajuns?
Who are the Blazers?
UAB.
Oh, okay. No, well, we're learning together, guys. This is important.
No. We're not. We already know it. We're not learning together. We already know it.
Central Alabama Blazers.
Brock says Buckets next trip to Ban, Alabama. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here's the recap. Courtesy of Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. Oh, what a mess. Chip, Friday games, Miami +11, UTSA -1. You heard all the Chick-fil-A nuggets. Then Saturday, Florida +10. He made me a believer after that because I was all over the other side until I heard that. That's why you got to watch. Southern Miss -6.5. Then buckets, 2 big World Cup games this weekend. Croatia, Morocco. Don't watch it. Just bet it and then cash the ticket because it will be boring. It'll be 0-0, 1-0, something like that. Then the big game, Sunday, Argentina, France, Mbappe, Messi. All we need is 1 goal from each team. We can't do that. Of course we can. At even money, talk to me. Then the Czar is on UAB -11. Which one do you like? We have differing opinions. UTSA, Troy over 57. Could be a lot of points there. Then Incarnate Word +9.5. And Emory also said, how about we play the over as we always do in their games? Then how about we put a little parlay together? Prime time. Deion Sanders is coaching Jackson State. And you're laying 14, you're going over 55. They do both. Then we'll throw Fresno State money line in there, BYU money line in there. It can be fun. I just said we're changing the game. It doesn't have to be serious all the time. This is just the start of our day. Just the start of our day. Don't forget special start time today. Early Edge and 5 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, our props extravaganza. See ya 15-2. The last 2 weeks. I encourage you to watch it live because those lines move as soon as my guys give them out. How much fun was the last 27 minutes? And we're getting off 3 minutes early so Buckets can get out of his hotel room. See, I'm thinking about everybody. But with that being said, damn it, this is fun. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these big pick energy Friday picks over the weekend, whatever you call it, straight to the pay window for my entire crew. Love them all. Chip, Emory, even Buckets, and Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos doing all the work behind the scenes to make us look good. I am the coach. Turn on your notifications. Every time we start a show, ding, you don't miss 1 single second of the early edge. Good luck.